What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and I just wanna bring some things to light. Let's just call this part 2 of the Kurupt Foxy Brown beef. And this chapter is the Eve DMX Ja Rule situation. Now, everybody here just know about the initial problems that was faced on. Let's finish up chapter 1. So where we left off on chapter 1 was part 1 or whatever, is the issue he had with Nas. Now, Nas can care less either way it goes with Kurupt. He was just telling her it's not going to end well. Now, Big is dead at this point, and now there's a lot of more problems he had to deal with being in Philly. Because things like he couldn't move in certain places because people weren't trying to hear him. They still associate him with Death Row and the West Coast. And everybody see him, they come up to him, East Coast! And he's like, I'm from the East Coast, fool. I'm from Philly. And people just wasn't trying to hear that, and dude was like, yeah, go back, do your West Coast dick licking. So it was a problem. And they got in a lot of fights, Foxy and Kurupt, basically over who she was talking to. And she had just got one of those Motorola flip phones, and she had the analog. And when they had the analog phone, he's looking into the phone like who this? Who calling you from this number? Why they calling you at this time? Why they think that's cool? I don't understand why you don't check these people and tell them, man, look, you got a man. You don't supposed to call nobody this late. Who talk business this late? It's bullshit. So he'll just snap out in the rage and he'll go back calm. That's how he was. He was a live wire, and so was she. She beat up a couple of people. Fans. Just dipped off on the fan for touching Kurupt. You don't touch him. And just dipped on her. Then you had another incident where, I'm trying to think who was there when it went down. But it was another incident they had where she was like, trying to think, what did she say? She said something like, why don't you go and deal with them stank hoes? I know we messing around with them. So they got in an argument. And that's when he threw the cup. He threw a cup at Fox's head, and she left that day. She's like, look, I ain't staying here, blah, 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 blah. I ain't got time for this nonsense. You need to get yourself together. Because corruption didn't do what they thought it was going to do. So now she's talking down to him. He had this manager that's helping him out. And so far, he's out his Death Row deal, but he got issues. He's kind of thinking, man, this New York play ain't really popping for me. And I'm tired of hearing this nonsense everywhere I go. I'm only up here for her, man, so I might as well bounce and go back to the West Coast. Because she ain't even hearing me. And they arguing every day. And then Eve come around, and I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but Eve and Kurupt knew each other for years. Even Foxy. They known Eve since they were shorties. But Eve is from Philly. And she came up in the rap game different than everybody else. She came in through the R&B tip before they was rapping, and then they started to do a little ABC type act you know, where they do little rap sing stuff. But she wrote her own music. Like, she wrote her own raps. So when she came up, she was writing her rhymes and getting herself together. She was spitting, and she impressed some people down on the West Coast because she was out taking trips out there, and Dre was signing people to Aftermath at the time. And she had got on with Dre, and Dre had signed her to a deal with Aftermath, but he couldn't really do nothing with her. At the time, in her early points of her career, he just put on a couple of songs that didn't really pan out. So he eventually let her go, and that's how she ended up going with Rough Riders. And she blew up. And then once she's, you know, like she's the Eve, and they getting ready to do a tour and all this, you know, she the one that told Kurupt, like, your girl out here reckless. It's like, you know, like DMX, you know, he wants your girl, like he really like, you know, Fox, and you know, they trying to get up with one another, you know, and he trying to get her and all this stuff, and she put him on the game, and he just lost his mind. And he didn't care about a Rough Rider. He didn't care about... I give Kurupt that. He crazy. He ready to fight everybody. He out there. If you want to kill me, kill me. I'm in the streets. Kill me. I'm like, damn. He's in the streets ready to fight dudes over this. That's my wife, Joe. That's wifey right there. And these dudes like, man, I don't do you jump into conclusions. You gonna get knocked the fuck out here. But you know, his boys, he got some loyal dudes that's from Philly. They just some, you know, cheesesteak eating dudes. They ain't no threat. They ain't gonna hurt nobody. They just there as a head count. But they were there. Like, come on, man, you know, let's go, man. Let's get a cheesesteak. I'm hungry. So they get him out of the picture, but her and Fox never did like each other. Fox had a lot of enemies in the street. A lot of people didn't like her because of her attitude. It's either you like it or you don't like it, or you could deal with it. But her mouth and her attitude just kept people at bay. And for this, you know, situation, her mouth got her, like they say, your mouth can write a check, your butt couldn't cash. So she got tired of explaining herself to Kurupt, and Kurupt just got tired. Like, look, I'm going back to L.A. Forget this. He moved because he was sick of it. Like, I'm sick of this bull, man. I'm gone. I'm going back to L.A. She was like, bye. Like, I'm done. I'm not with you no more. You can't until you can handle yourself. You got a temper problem. So when he gets to LA, he's working on this album. Like, it's almost effective immediately. He's working on Streets as a Mother. He's back up there with Daz and people. He was like, man, family, we back home. We back on it. You know, we doing our thing. Let's get it. You know, but at first he was worried about, you know, Suge and all that. But they was like, dude, we good over here. You know, ain't nothing happening over here in the studio. We good. Make our music, put it out. Let's rock. So they go. He tells Snoop. He's like, man, I recorded this track called Calling Out Names. And he's like, calling out names? He was like, yeah. And Snoop was like, what you do that for, little homie? Look, things just starting to cool down. We don't want to start nothing back up like that. You know, you gonna mess it up and bring all that stuff back up. Things just starting to get back cool and calming down. We don't want to kick up no more dust, homie. You know, just put that in your pocket. So he was like, alright, and that was cool. Just leave that off the album. But he didn't listen, because he's hard-headed. And he put the song on the album. Streets is a mother. Then he leaked it first before the album even came out to make it even worse. And it's like, it's everywhere before the record even come out. Calling out names is like on everybody's radio and it's playing. And then he brought up a situation that involved Daz and Ja Rule. Now, Irv Gotti was actually the party that was involved. Ja Rule had nothing to do with anything. And he just put him in there because he thought Ja Rule was a rough rider. Ja Rule was like, I'm cool with him, but, you know, young Rule, that ain't my goal. So, but Rule didn't really deal with him like that. It was Irv Gotti who was trying to sign Daz to a deal and bring Daz aboard because Daz had stolen some songs from Suge. He was more interested in getting Daz over there. They got Ja Rule to be the Tupac, and they finna roll with it, and then Jazz got these songs by Pac. They hear recorded with Pac, and they wanted, that was the value of it, of doing that deal with Daz. So that's why they wanted to sign Daz over there. And then he gonna bring up Daz's business in the song. Trying to sign Daz, man, Daz will sign you. And I'm like, what in the world is this boy doing? So he caused a lot of problems because the reason that the deal didn't go through, and one of the main reasons it didn't go through, is because Suge and Ja Rule were tight. And that deal wasn't finna ride. Nowhere. Once they saw their alliances with Suge, that's what killed the deal. Suge would have found his songs over there with them. No way. Suge had them brothers under extortion. And that was gonna be the new Pac. Suge was with that Stogie, baby. Cause he loved Ja. See, that's why I like Ja. Cause he real, he a real thug. You know what I'm saying? He really from these streets. He ain't like these fake ass wannabe gangsters. They hot for 1 minute, then they want to flip on it. See, they ain't real, cause see, they ain't never had nobody real like that in their life to tell them what they doing is wrong. So when I see people like doing moves like that, I already know they ain't real. But when I see Ja always came and he always been respectful of Pac. He always been respectful to the road. So we got love for him. It's simple as that. See, ain't no East and West. It's just it's some real niggas. And the people that's representing the East, they been a bunch of bitches. Like Puffy and the bad boy and their situation. You know, Puffy ain't no real man. He ain't really from no streets. You know, that's why he do the things he do. If he was a real man, he'd sit down and talk with people. See, that's what real people do. And that's why we bagging Ja. So Ja ain't had no problems on the West Coast. Next thing you know, Kurupt's bodyguard gets killed. You know, who knows what happened there? Now, I won't go into the murder things. I'll let all that just play it on itself out. But that happens. The song comes out. Everybody's waiting on a response from DMX. And this is what kills me. And it's like X came out with a response on that album he dropped. Blood of my blood. I'm like, no. That wasn't no diss response to no Kurupt. No, that wasn't even close. I'm like, that album was done way before that even came out. Now, if he dissed him on another song later, like on Party Up, maybe he dropped some lyrics about it before, but other than that, Def Jam was just finna shut that album down. Even though he's like, yo, I'm cool with Def Jam, Def Squad, all them, they were gonna shut that record down on the East Coast. So you got a record that could have possibly done 1 million sales. It was the best record Kurupt ever done. And that record didn't do what it was supposed to do. It didn't win gold, but it was supposed to do way more than gold. That was some great production on that record. But when you don't listen and you hard-headed, these are the things that follow suit. So, what he did was piss off a lot of people. And Foxy, when he tried to get in contact with Fox, because he was trying to call her and say what's up, like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. And you know, when he started calming down, like, man, you know, I shouldn't even have done that. I'm in a whole new relationship right now. And rest in peace, Katrina. And he was in like a whole new mind. Like, I'm in a different mind state. I'm in a different zone. I'm not even on that trip no more. You know, but her brother, Gavin, wanted to put his hands. He was finna see Kurupt. Like, it was, yeah, like, when I see you, it's on. It was at that level, but she's like, it ain't, no, it ain't worth it. Let's just leave it at that. So, Foxy Brothers was out to go find him. So it was not nice at that point. But her problems with Eve was just getting started. Because she felt Eve instigated all this, then came and dissed her on that song. So, and I'm like, man, she made a video, got Gwen Stefani in the song, and she talking about, like, these women be ghostwriting and they ain't writing their own songs. Sound familiar, don't it? Stuff been going on since the beginning of time. So she's boasted at the fact that she write her own lyrics. So Foxy comes back with the Get Off Me song when she's dissing back, and then, you know, Eve just responded basically by saying, I'm glad I inspired this girl's ghostwriters. You know, and then she saw her at the, it was the VH1 Awards or whatever they had. It was some video award thing, and Foxy was there for some reason, and they got into a little argument in the back. Just a little exchange of words, rolling eyes at each other and all that stuff. And then she's telling them, like, oh, they invited her? Oh, too bad she ain't sitting in the front. They probably got a seat way in the back, in the has-been section. So that's when she got all upset. Fox wanted to, like, I will rip, that chick is phony, she's fake, she ain't nothing but a hoe. She done screwed her way up to the top of this business. So you need to learn how to keep your legs closed. And she's like, look who talking. And it was just all a mess. And the VH1 people like, look, this ain't the hood. Like, we'll kick both y'all out, all your peoples, everything. Now y'all gonna have professional, y'all gonna have cordial, we can get this going. So both sides did that, stayed in their own pockets, did their little show, and X never had a problem with the fact that Eve told Kurupt, because she told X, like, X, you know, your girl went and told Kurupt that you had a crush on me. I like a lot of people, shit, I don't know. I mean, she did what she did, you know. She know what she did was wrong, you know. What happens, whatever we said in here is supposed to stay right here, you know. But, you know, it's done, you know. I don't need matter with, you know, I just move along. So that's X. X don't care about nothing like that. So X like, look, whatever, you know, are we finna do something, basically, or not? But no, that's why I said something like this would have happened if they slept together. You'd have heard about it on 1,000 people list. They ain't do nothing. He probably wanted to do something, and she probably wanted to at one point, but it never got to that. So, on that note, I think we about covered this whole subject all the way around. And now, we cue the music. I'm out. And follow the playlist too.